Alright guys, welcome back to another draft analysis. I'm Ace and right now I'm into game 2 of VG Gaming vs Team Secret. This might very well be our last game of the day considering how well VG Gaming have been playing throughout today. They dominated Minieski 2-0 and game 1 looks really easy for VG Gaming against Secret. They have been drafting very well, they've been playing very well. Lanham's draft, I mentioned across the 3 games I have done on the draft analysis. If you haven't watched them, please go and check it out. Mentioned that he has been drafting really well. His draft is very all-rounded, very strong team fight, very strong at lanes. He has a very specific objective and it works very well against whatever the opponent is drafting. So Lanham, I don't know, he's doing something right, but he's definitely drafting really well right now. Okay, so moving on to game 2's draft, let's see how it goes. In game 1, Secret, their draft was quite all over the place and I favoured VG's draft very heavily and it was a pretty easy game for them. And now game 2, let's see how Secret will change things up. Secret has first pick again. They banned away Undying, Bane as well as Winter Wyvern. So they left Shadow Demon in the pool. It's a hero that was banned against VG by Minieski in the previous series. And Secret, they went for the first pick Clockwork for Yapsaw. VG Gaming banned the Clockwork in game 1 I believe. But instead this time around they banned both the Bounty as well as the Churn as per game 1 and instead they removed the Razor. Okay, so Secret, they picked this Clockwork for Yapsaw. In game 1 they picked the Rubik and the Rubik definitely didn't work out at all. It was too slow I would say, although it's Yapsaw's best hero. But Clockwork is just a much more stable position 4 hero. And VG Gaming, they go back for the Shadow Demon Sand-King. Shadow Demon, as I mentioned, it's a very strong support right now. His Soul Catcher, the changes to Soul Catcher where you spawn an illusion every time you kill a target under the influence of Soul Catcher. That is really strong and it's just a very good hero to set up kills with. Like now they have the Sand-King stun, they can go up with a, let's say if they pick Invoker Sunstrike or Mirana Arrow. It's just so many things that this Shadow Demon can pair up with. And it has a defensive save as well in the team fights in the late game. Team Secret, they go back for the Tidehunter for Farah. As I mentioned, this Tidehunter is getting very strong in this patch because of Refresher plus Refresher Shard. The third Roshan is going to mean a lot. If you get triple Ravage in a fight, it's pretty impossible I would say for the team to win if let's say the net worth is about equal and you have to fight against a triple Ravage. It's going to be very hard to take the fight. And then in the second phase, Team Secret, they banned away Gyro and Luna. Luna was a hero that they banned in game 1 as well against VG. This time around, they decided not to ban away. What was the other carry that they banned? The Death Prophet. They left Death Prophet in the pool this time around. And I won't be surprised to see VG 4th picking it here, especially if this Omni Knight already picked up. Omni Knight plus Death Prophet is very strong. Usually Death Prophet, you want to have defensive supports or like defensive capabilities in your team. So right now they have Omni Knight heal, Omni Knight repel, very strong on the Death Prophet. On top of that, they have Shadow Demon save to prevent any burst going onto the Death Prophet. So yeah, actually I would think the Death Prophet is a very strong pick here for VG Gaming. And on the other hand, they ban away Witch Doctor as well as Weaver. The Weaver ban makes me feel like they plan to pick this Omni Knight already, and Weaver is a very strong lane matchup against Omni Knight. The Witch Doctor ban, I'm not exactly sure why though. Yeah, anyway, they just thought they don't want to play against Puppy's Witch Doctor and they decided to remove it. Okay, so Secret going on to the third pick. They already have their position 4, they have their off lane. Probably Puppy's gonna pick something for himself here. He picked the Ogre last game, but this game you could see the AA Clockwork is very good, strong double duo in the laning phase. Instead he go for the Jakiro here. Not the best at zoning Omni Knight considering he's but then again, Omni Knight doesn't learn repel in the laning phase, so it could still be a very good harassment towards Omni Knight. And you slow him down, you make him very hard for him to come in to contest the safe laner, whoever it's going to be. And all in all, just a very stable and strong position 5 hero that helps with pushing, helps with teamfight. If you Clockwork can cox a hero in, you can just drop your Macropyre on top into an Ice Path, Dual Breath. The damage output is actually pretty insane. And VG Gaming, I really think they should pick up the Death Prophet here. Looks like a very strong pick. Ooh, they go for the Slug instead for Paparazzi. Interesting pickup here. It's not the best laner against Tidehunter, considering that you have to. His Tidehunter is very tanky, and you have the Anchor Smash to do a lot of does very well against a melee core. But then again, they have Shadow Demon, Disruption into a Sinking Stun, into a Pounce. There's a lot of damage going on the Tidehunter, and they definitely have the capabilities to zone this Tidehunter out and give Slug a free farm. But for sure, they're gonna have to put both supports there, I would say. If not, if the Tide is able to get off whatever he wants, he's going to have quite a good lane. And Secret, they go back for CTY Storm. CTY is very well known for his Storm Spirit, and being one game away from dropping down to the lower brackets, I think they want to give CTY his best hero, or his most comfortable hero, and just let him do his things while they play around him. That's the problem of playing when you have stand-in or player that you can't really communicate with. You need to play around him because he don't understand what you're talking about. So you just have to pick him a very stable core, a very strong core, very comfort core, and let your whole team play around him. So Storm will just go and do whatever he wants, and the Tidehunter will follow up, the Clockwork will follow up and stuff. So that's how I feel the approach is going to be. And Secret, they agree. They decide to ban out the Death Prophet, which would have been a very strong pick for VG Gaming in my opinion. Good laner against Storm Spirit, and as for whatever reasons I mentioned earlier, it's a very strong pick.
10 seconds remaining.
VG, they ban away the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker is known to be the carry counter to Slug. Slug's his ultimate passive doesn't proc when the Bloodseeker is on the map because of his Bloodthirst, and Rupture is a very strong spell against Slug as well. Not forgetting you have Blood Right, where you can cast it when the Slug ultimates and you force him to run away. Secret actually go for a draw strat. So they got Storm Spirit with the draw aura, which will make him very strong in the lane, and now they have a draw. The thing I don't like about Draw Ranger is against a Slug, if once the Slug gets the mid game, if he gets his Shadow Blade, he gets his maybe like second or third item, it's going to be very hard for the Draw to do anything. He can gas him away, but he still be pounced on. He can't really force stuff himself away. All in all, and Shadow Demon, if he can get the disruption on Draw Ranger, the damage output on the Draw himself is actually going to be insane because of all the heavy right click on top of Soul Catcher. And VG Gaming, they go back for a very stable core on the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight works the same way as Death Prophet in the sense that in terms of the pushing potential and the stability of the hero, but it doesn't require as much protection as a Death Prophet during the team fights, and his damage output is definitely not as high as a Death Prophet. But all in all, it's just a very stable pick, like stable laner against a Storm Spirit. But Storm Spirit with the draw aura, he's going to be able to put a lot of pressure on this Dragon Knight, something I'm afraid for Ori. But with the worst case, he can just max out his Dragon's Blood and just use Dragon's Breath to Fire Breath or Dragon's Breath to farm the lane. The only problem with Dragon Knight is in the past he always just used Bottle Crow and gets his mana back so that he can push out the wave with his nuke. But right now there's no more Bottle Crow, and that's kind of a nerf to Dragon Knight, I would say. Regardless, Secret. Okay, so usually when you play like a draw strat, you want to have at least one form of initiation or two forms of initiation. So right now they have Yapzor Clockwork and a Tidehunter Ravage, which means they can push very stably with a backup of a potential Ravage. And with their lineup, it looks like they can take like 4-5 towers very early in the first 15 minutes. And they have to do that. If they don't, the Slug is just going to come online in the 20-30 minute mark, and I don't see how Secret have an answer for him. Secret definitely need to put a lot of pressure in the early game. And can VG contest? That's one question that you have to ask. And I don't think they can. They don't really have initiation until Senkin gets his blink, but if he doesn't have a good laning phase, it's going to be a late blink, and it's not going to be so easy. I think VG have to make a lot of plays on this Senkin Shadow Demon duo roaming combo. If they go to the mid lane, the Storm will die. They go to the off lane, the Draw will die. So their rotations is going to be very important on VG Gaming side. I think overall, I still favor, like slightly favor VG's gaming lineup, just because I don't really like Draw into a Slug. But Secret definitely has this very strong timing in the early game. If they can dominate, then yeah, they definitely can snowball this whole game. And as I mentioned, VG, the two supports really need to do work. They need to make things happen. And if they make things happen in the early game, they shut down Secret's early game, then it's definitely going to be VG favored. Okay, so yeah, it's just a quick summary. Secret needs to take down many towers in the early game, if not they'll just fall behind and lose the game. And VG Gaming, for them to win, they need to make plays on their both supports, roaming around, shutting down the laning phase for Secret, and just go into the mid game even, and they're just going to win the late game, I would say. Right, that's all for Game 2's draft analysis. Considering how good VG is going to play, this might just be the last game for today. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.